Hello everybody. Welcome back to Lightning Speed Racing. Today we're here for the top division in LSR Group 1, and we're racing for the first time on a street track in season numero 4. And yeah, it's going to be a good one here, guys. I hope you have a long stay for the live stream here today in Singapore at the Marina Bay Street Circuit for the Singapore Grand Prix. So in terms of this track, it is a very long track, and as I mentioned, it is a street track as well, so going to be kind of bumpy out there and some awkward corners you may see. It has a total of 23 corners, a circuit length of 5 kilometers, that's around 3.1 miles, and there's 3 area zones to help encourage overtaking, 1 down Raffles Boulevard, and that is going to be the best place to make an overtake for around here. So yeah, this is the first division in LSR, the top division, the most experienced drivers, most competitive drivers, all that sort of thing. We have 17 drivers out on the grid today. I wasn't really sure if we're going to get another one joining in qualifying. I think we actually might have a second Aston Martin joining in qualifying, but we'll keep you posted on that. So, in the commentary box today, it's myself, Formula Jonah League founder, and joining me in the commentary box is my good friend James, who's also my teammate in Group 2. James, welcome to the commentary box, and welcome back to LSR Group 1 commentary.
Hello, it's good to be back after missing a week, sadly, but yeah, hopefully it's going to be absolutely amazing, and it's going to be one of those long races, but hopefully it's going to be a long, exciting, and entertainment-full, I don't know what the word would be, but full of entertainment, hopefully, as we are getting underway with qualifying.
Yeah, it sure is going to be an exciting one here today. In Group 1, a lot of drivers out on the grid, and a very competitive track as well. As we see Boring joining the session, a full-time McLaren driver is in the McLaren seat, so another one has joined our grid, and yeah, that's good news. But yeah, as James mentioned there, it's going to be an interesting race. Definitely going to be an eventful one. I think it's all about strategy. It's all about consistency. That's 2 factors in this race out of many factors, I'm assuming. And it's definitely a track where you want to be experienced at. And I think it's great because we have Group 1 drivers out on track, as Tom goes fastest overall with the fastest lap time. Ickle Bickle is about to join him. But yeah, this is Group 1, the most experienced drivers. So they're taking on a very, very experience level track, as it is a quite difficult one. So Mercedes 1-2 here in qualifying at the current moment, a 136.7, followed by Tom's lap time of a 137.8. About a second difference between the 2 Mercedes drivers, so I have a feeling that was just kind of a banker lap time for Tom. I think he'll be able to go much faster in that Mercedes. But real quickly before we move on, viewers, thank you so much for joining us so far. Make sure to continue to watch our live streams here, not just for LSR Group 1, but for Group 2 and Group 3, along with our special events like our GT races as well, along with the videos. And like this video if you're enjoying myself and James' commentary, and subscribe to see more LSR content. So, James, what are you thinking ahead of this Singapore Grand Prix? And what driver are you keeping an eye on, especially through this qualifying session?
I'm going to have to keep an eye on Speed Queen, because last few races she's not been there, but she's been there, and she's got those podiums, she's got those really great results, and she's always there. Mango and B Tom is going to be a good fight, a good little fight here, I believe. And I think 7th Layer, maybe Redemption, after not the greatest of few races this season.
Yeah, it's kind of been a weird race season for Seville Flair. He's had some, I'd say, some good races and then some bad races. I think he's been in a position where he's had some bad luck as well. Austria was a perfect example. He was dominating that race, really took control of that one, made that move, which we posted on Instagram, right through the middle of 2 cars there. But then there was a spin or something like that in like the last few laps of the race. B-Tom actually coming home with the win, and his first win of season 4. And I believe that makes it 3 wins in a row for B-Tom. at Austria, which is pretty insane, and the only driver to win an LSR Austrian Grand Prix in Group 1. So pretty big statistic there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see what Speed Queen can do as well. I think she's put up an amazing performance throughout the last couple of races. Now in the lead of the championship as well. That's pretty incredible. Alfa Romeo up at the top. She's joined by Tommy in the Alfa Romeo. Tommy in P8 at the moment with a 138.7. Alfa Romeo, I think they need to get up there. Well, Speed Queen leads the championship. Alfa Romeo are not at the top of the championship, so they need to get some more points to lead both championships, which would be pretty crazy. We haven't seen an Alfa Romeo team or driver really up at the top. It hasn't really come about through the last couple of LSR seasons, so quite surprising there, but we may be able to see that here today in Group 1.
Yeah, hopefully, if today's race doesn't go bad for the Alfa Romeo team, as Speed Queen is in P4 at the moment, and we've seen that she can make a P4 even come out with a podium. So we'll see. We'll have to wait and see what can happen throughout this race as V-Tom goes P2.
Ooh, good lap from B-Tom, yeah. Into a 136.2. And I'm riding on board with Kevin Cal, the AlphaTauri. The California driver is going to come down to turn 1, and I'm going to take an onboard with him as he comes down into turn 3 now. That long left-hander, and you want to stick it in around 4th gear or so. Onto a very unique part of the track as you want to try and go wide, but not at the same time as you can get an invalidation. Now onto the first DRS zone, Raffles Boulevard, probably the longest DRS zone as well. And down to turn 7, this is where Max Verstappen locked up in last year's Singapore Grand Prix in real life. Now into turn 8, this is a heavy braking zone, and you want to kind of aim that car all the way to the left, push it as much as possible to the walls here as we come onto a bit of a straight. This is where that Singapore sling was back in 2012, I believe, and prior to that, into a very technical section of the track. Like I said before, it was much worse back in the Singapore sling days, and you want to brake right when you exit that turn of turn 12, onto turn 13, and onto the second DRS zone now, as the AlphaTauri driver comes down to 14, a braking zone, but also a great place to make an overtake. Side-by-side action is going to be through here throughout the entire race. And another corner when you want to brake right after you see the corner line, as that's a blind corner, I would say, under the tunnel or under the grandstand, I guess. And when we have rain later on in the session, that's going to be the dry part of the track. Into a bit of a chicane. This is where Felipe Massa almost hit the wall on the exit of that corner. And into the final turn, turn 23. Shifting up the gears, Kevin Cal goes P10 with a 138.6, a solid lap time from the AlphaTauri driver.
Yeah, very comfortable lap time, I would say, in the midfield, but he'll have time to gain as he will absolutely love to gain just a few tenths, because that will push him up to whereabouts his teammate is in P7.
For sure, and AlphaTauri, they need some good points in today's race, and judging by where they are right now, I mean, they're both in point-scoring positions, if, of course, they stay in these positions throughout the race, and definitely going to be interesting and voting for them. We actually have somebody in the party chat that is not James or myself, and that is Fedora, actually a driver on the grid right now. Fedora, you are on your outlap, so we won't disturb you too much as you want to get into, of course, your full-time lap, but how are you feeling out there on this this Marina Bay street circuit?
It's fun. I love this track. It's one of my favorites for just having fun on.
Yeah, it definitely seems like a fun track out there.
Best is
Nice
fun,
and tight.
could say, I guess.
And what were you saying, Fedora, right at the end?
It's a tight track, yeah, just the way I like it.
Yeah, we'll definitely see how it goes for you, you know. Good luck with your lap as Fedora currently down in P15, and hopefully he'll be able to improve on his time, so definitely good luck there. SSL Mango, P1 at the current moment. James, look at that lap time.
That's I really do wonder if anybody can break that 35, well, to be a 35 benchmark, because that's Mango just goes on another absolutely incredible lap here, and luckily for this time, now that the race is earlier, he will survive this time.
Hopefully. Thank goodness it is earlier for SSL Mango, and I've heard as well that it might go better for him once the season has come along, once spring comes along, and hopefully it's okay for the Ferrari driver who has taken many different pole positions in LSR history. Ferrari needs some points here. Vapor didn't have a good race last time out in Austria. It was a DNF for the Ferrari driver under safety car, I believe, unfortunately. And unfortunately, I don't believe he's here today. Hopefully he joins us at the next one in Britain. And yeah, well, hopefully get some good points there. As for SSL Mango, he has missed the last, I want to say 2 races due to the power cut. Netherlands and Austria, if I'm not... Oh, actually, no, he was here for Netherlands, but he backed out because of the... Oh, was it China was the last race?
Yeah. I do remember him cutting out in China, because it was like the second sector, and it just went for him. He was in the lead as well. As Mango... 4 tenths quicker.
Ooh, what a lap. And I was riding on board with him at the current time he was producing. It was a sensational lap. Super, super consistent through the entire third sector when I was on board with him. Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to be able to improve on that time. And I mean, the only person that can is maybe even SSL Mango. Can he dip into the 134s? That would be absolutely insane. I mean, it's happened before in league racing, but yeah, super competitive time from Mango there.
That's just insane, and this man's on the controller as well, which is really weird to think about, having that pace on the controller.
For sure, yeah, it's quite astonishing, but I mean, not impossible, so definitely going to be interesting. Here's someone I want to talk about, and James, give me your thoughts on him. Since we drive for Aston Martin, we got a driver in the Group 1 seat at Aston Martin. Zayek is back in LSR for full time, and he's at Aston Martin. What do you think about that, James?
Having someone really, really good friends with is amazing, especially in Group 1, because me and Zayek, we get along, and it's even better because he races for Aston Martin now, which is, well, we're going for the titles in both championships, hopefully, fingers crossed, if all of us can get the points. And I think in Group 2 we're getting close to the top, who are Mercedes.
Yeah, definitely. I think that we could be up there, and even in Group 3 as well. I mean, there's a new driver in Group 3 for Aston Martin. I believe his name is Cobra. Could be wrong on that, but yeah, I believe he's in the Aston Martin Aston Martin seat, sorry, and a very fast driver at that. So who knows? Aston Martin could grab all 3 division championships. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
That would be quite interesting, and that would be quite good, to be honest.
Definitely. Well, we will see how that works out for that team and for the rest of the teams, of course. I want to keep an eye on Tommy as well, as everybody seems to be going out on outlaps. They're getting ready for their final attempts. Tommy is on a lap. I believe he's up by 0.4 of a second, which would be really good for him. That would put him around P10. And, an Alpine off the track there. I think getting out of the way, actually, for the Alfa Romeo, so no harm done. As Tommy coming around the final couple of corners, and I want to see what he can do. Can he join his teammate and go up into the top 10? Let's find out.
Let's see. As it crosses line and does go 9th fastest.
Ooh.
Very nice competitive lap by him. Speed Queen, I think she is also on a lap time. No, she's on no, she's got 0.5 laps of fuel, so she will be coming in. B-Tom won't be coming out again. Mango and Ickle are out on track again. Several players also on the lap now, So this could get very interesting towards the end.
He's got traffic ahead of them, though. Hopefully they get out of the way of the Alpine driver. There goes one Mercedes. Good news for him. And Sev's got a Red Bull and I believe a Ferrari right ahead. So hopefully they get out of the way as well. Ferrari is definitely not a lap.
As are they going to? Yeah, there we go. And there's the Red Bull giving way, and the Ferrari gives way for Player. As he is up on his time, about a tenth almost.
And the difference between Ickel and Sev's time is, wow, insane to say the least. Around 3 1,000ths of a second separating third and fourth position. Sev might be able to improve, but goes deep into turn. I want to say that's turn 11 or so, or not turn 11, turn 18 to be exact. Sev Flare out of turn 23 we come. Let's see what he can do. Currently P4 on the grid with 15 seconds to spare. Goes P3 with a 136.2, and into the top 3 positions goes Seb Lafleur. The Netherlands Grand Prix winner has improved on his time, but here's the question. Can Ickel Bickel improve? He starts his lap for Mercedes.
This is going to be very, very close towards the end. Mango as well, starting another lap. So can he get into the 134s? Or will he choose not to improve on his lap time, as he's not improving on the first sector? Ickel, he's invalidated.
Oh, not good for Ickel.
Shahome has spun it at the grandstand section. Apex is up on his lap time, so we'll have to see what he can do towards the end of the lap. And coming out of sector 2, he is about a 10th up, and I want to say 3 thousandths, is it? Between him and Shahome, so
well, it looks like Zayek is done. He stays P10 for the moment. Fedora coming to the line now. Let's see what the Aston Martin can do as it comes to the line. Goes P13. Oh, and Apex spins on the final couple of corners there. That is it for his time. Anybody else on a lap, James?
Tommy is coming around the final corners now, coming up to the grandstand section, going under the grandstand, which would probably be the best feature in this track. I think he's hit the wall. Mango, 35.3, 1/10 up. Tommy coming around the final corners now. Luckily doesn't go off track and does improve, but with a 38.0. I think he improved. Kendricks is not on a lap.
Meanwhile, the Red Bulls improved. Massive position gain for both Red Bulls there. Vacant Haddock up to 12th and NYR up to 7th now. So Red Bull up in a good position for the race as well. And I believe that concludes qualifying. SSL Mango improves to a 135.3. Impressive lap time from the Ferrari driver. The question is, can he hold it off for the race and score his first race win of Season 4 and Ferrari's first since, I believe, JDM back in Group 2 at the Canadian Grand Prix back in Season 1.
It's a very, very long time, and I want to say Mango is almost a second quicker than Beaton.
That's impressive.
That's in Group 1 to say. That is stupid quick.
Yeah, Mango's got some serious qualifying pace, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, he can easily win here today. Let's hope he does win for once, because he's had really bad luck in this championship. But nevertheless, he should be on par for a win.
For sure. Well, we'll hope the best for SSL Mango. Hopefully everything goes good for him. Really good qualifying for Mercedes, by the way. That was exactly what they need for this race. Ickel Bickel P4, Tom P6. very competitive times from both drivers there, and I had a feeling when they went 1-2 in the very beginning of qualifying that they'd be up there, and look at that, they are. So really, qualifying is good. Qualifying is great. The question is, can they survive for the race? This is Singapore, and another factor to take into consideration here as well is rain. There's going to be rain at the very beginning of the race. That should last for, I don't know, a few laps or so, and then it should move into the dry conditions, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. The one thing is, turn 1. That is a very critical point about this race. Let's see what these drivers can do. No formation lap, of course, so we're heading straight into this. Very light rain. Intermediate tires, of course. But, yeah, James, the question is, can these drivers survive down to the first couple of corners? Will there be crashes or not? I'm hoping not, of course, but what do you think?
I'm manifesting a 2017 Singapore, if you remember that Grand Prix, where we had 2 Ferraris and a Red Bull crash on my very first corner. Not even the first corner. With rain, it could happen. Like, anything can happen, and let's wait and see.
Well, yep, here we go. For the Singapore Grand Prix, round 6 of the championship. The lights are going out, and the racing is about to begin. We're racing in Singapore. The lights are out, and away we go. Pretty weird start, but it's okay, as SSL Mango does lead down to turn 1. And it is Speed Queen and Ickle Bickle looking to keep those positions. Pretty okay start, actually. Tom losing a few positions, though, to Tommy. Almost 3 wide, actually, for the... Oh, a little bit of wings going off there. That's an Alfa Romeo. Was that a... Oh, it's Ickle Bickle and Speed Queen. Speed Queen and Ickle Bickle make contact there. So, very interesting to see. Seb LaFleur and B-Tom as well battling it out for P2 in this race. B-Tom breaks later. What about everyone else? Ickle Bickle goes wide.
It doesn't even have a front wing for me.
Yeah.
There's also contact in the back. I was watching Zayek have a little bit of a collision with Vacant. I don't know if there's any wing damage. But sadly for him, there was contact for the Aston Martin driver and the Red Bull driver.
Oh, not good for them. Hopefully it goes better. Oh, is Ickle Bickle going very wide there, having to avoid... Oh, and AlphaTauri and Ickle Bickle make contact there. Apex Finley and Ickle. Thankfully, Ghosting is on, so that didn't affect the other people, but not a good start for Ickle Bickle. As, there's a Haas Ghost. Oh, and Aston Martin's in the wall.
Oh, as that is but Fedora in the wall. And Ickle Bickle dropping down to 18th position in a lap.
What happened to Ickle at the start there? Another first lap incident, but it seems like there was contact with Speed Queen and Ickle, because those are the only 2 drivers in the vicinity. Or did Ickle maybe break a little bit late, go into the wall? There was a very, very tricky corner that they were at when Ickle had that contact with the wall. I'm not exactly sure. I'd like to see a replay or something like that of what happened to the LSR owner. Meanwhile, Alfa Romeo, what a start from them. Speed Queen and Tommy up to 4th and 5th.
Again, she has some really, really nice starts, and she always manages to stay within the pack. And Tommy as well, again, up into P5, and where did it stop? Like 10th or 9th, I believe?
I believe so, yeah.
So, an amazing start for him, as we see everyone try and get up to grips with the rain, because they will not be prepared for this at all, I would presume, as we've just gone from a dry race, dry quali to a wet race.
I mean, the drivers were briefed on the rain at the very start of the race earlier, so hopefully they have a little bit of preparation, but you are correct. I mean, like, it is a very big change in conditions from quali or the race. Even if they have practice for it, it is different. As, Boring looking for the move on Kevin Cow, who's looking for the move on the Williams. It looks like a little bit of stoppage going. Oh, Boring and Kevin there. A little bit of contact.
I don't think he knew that the McLaren was going for the move, or trying to look for a move. Zayek and Boring trying to go around the outside. Just Boring closing that door. Zayek still fighting him, trying to go around the outside. We'll have the inside from the next corner.
Oh!
Oh, there's contact. I don't think Zayek's losing the position to Kendricks. No, he hasn't. He's kept the position. But Zayek trying to fight his way through.
I mean, it's a very awkward corner, and in these conditions, it's really hard to overtake. As Kendrick's looking for the move on Zayek, a little bit of contact between the two. I think it's okay though. Yaborin, he didn't leave a lot of space for Zayek, if I'm being honest. But at the same time, I mean, there's nowhere really he could have gone in that case. It's really hard to kind of judge that at that particular corner. You don't see a lot of overtakes there, so I would say it's more of a racing incident. Even turn 13, I would say it's a racing incident, but that's not my call.
In this rain as well, it's kind of one of those situations where it's like one or the other. You're either going to try and make the move, or there's not even a move possible. But whilst that's happening, Severflare all over the back end of Tom, trying to go around the outside. No, he's not going to have that look. He's just going to stay. Actually, no, is he? No. But Severflare trying to make a move on Tom for P2 as Mango 6 seconds.
Well, this battle that they're having right now is not helping their chances of overtaking SSL Mango. This is helping Mango, but this is good battling. Either way, they're nice and respectful between the two drivers, and this just shows the experience of Group 1 compared to other leagues and stuff like that. Steph LaFleur is just taking this very nice and easy kind of thing, and just kind of picking and choosing where to go. He knows that B-Tom might be struggling with this particular setup maybe he's got on. I don't know. B-Tom is struggling for, it seems, corner grip or something like that, where Sevelflare has the ability to take tighter entrances into corners, such as turn 7, 8, and 9. It seems like Sevelflare was able to get a better run out of those corners. Acid Monsters making a move on Tom. Tom is, Shahomi's out of the race meanwhile. What happened to Shahomi?
Shahomi seems to have gone straight on into the barrier. Yeah, gone straight on into the barrier, and we have a safety car. Mango has gone ahead of the safety car as well. So we'll have as people already pitting as Tom comes into the pit lane. He's lost his front wing. Something's happened there.
Yeah, I believe Tom may have had...
And Kendricks comes in as well. For the mediums.
What?
Is that? It's either me or I'm going weird, because those are the yellow striped tyres of the mediums. It stopped raining.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Kendricks is on mediums. Okay. Good to know from Fedora there. Thank you so much. Yeah, me. Oh, Tom.
Oh, Tom. We're going to get a little bit of Tokyo Drift here, aren't we?
I don't know. I don't think mediums are the right way to go. I mean, it's good, right? It's good for the later stage, but right now there's still rain. The surface is so wet at the current moment. If they can, I'd say one more lap, and it's time for medium tires, possibly, maybe 2 laps. But right on board with Tom. Let's see how turn 7 goes for the Mercedes. Ooh, yeah, he's really struggling.
Yeah. NYR as well, I'm gonna say, bold move to go on the harder compound.
Oh my goodness.
I don't understand, but it's a gamble. Vacant's gone on mediums, but Fedora's gone on softs. So we'll have to wait and see what these guys can do, as Tommy's still struggling to get some temperature into those tires.
Well, Fedora, just be very careful on those tires. It is very, very wet out on track at the moment. Be very careful. Who knows? This could be the winning strategy, James.
And we're gone.
Oh.
Spun it. So, yeah, he's now lost positions to Icklebickle, but no, not anymore, because Icklebickle has had to let him go. But he's lost the position to Kendricks.
B-Tom in the pit lane for mediums.
Just ran into the wall.
Oh, no, he's
and
on
Speed
the
Queen.
tire.
Oh, wait, what?
Vacant is on mediums, and he just ran into the wall under safety car.
Beatom's getting
Oh,
very wiggly
not
straight
good.
away. But hard,
So he's gonna
hard
pit
compound tires.
Vacant's out.
As Vacant has retired. Where's that happened? Oh, that's happened over there. Oh.
So drivers have taken a risk here with the intermediate tires. From our perspective, it doesn't seem to be working out. A very unique circumstance right now. I mean, if you are going to put on the dry tires, I think it's good to make sure... Oh, Vacant's actually left the session. If the drivers are going to put on dry tires, I think they have to keep it insanely cautious. Like, keeping it in 7th to 8th gear. Let's take a look at tires out on our screen right now. Yeah, look at this. Beatom and Beatom and NYR on the hards. Meanwhile, everybody else that's on the dry compound tires, besides Fedora, is on the medium compound tires. So, very interesting strategy here. And I'd like to ask our driver in the commentary box before we move on. Fedora, how is it feeling out on track on those soft compound tires?
Honestly, not bad. It's a little slippery in certain areas, but you can definitely tell it's drying off. I feel very confident in my decision to go softs instead of mediums. I've watched everybody else kind of go on ice skates as of right now. With the track drying out and the safety car on the track, it seems that you're going to have to be off the intermediates within the next lap or two. And that's going to, in my opinion, give me the 3 pit stop, at least on the softs. And the softs in this wet really aren't that bad.
Very interesting. Well, good to know. Thank you so much for letting us know.
Diving into Beatom's clashed.
Oh!
Beatom's hit the wall, lost a little bit of his front wing. Zayek coming in for the mediums, Tommy coming in for the mediums, and I think 7th there on the hards. So Beatom gonna have to make another stop. So this is such a gamble, but is it really worth it right now?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it seems like it's good, but not now. If judging from what's going on right now, I think it's too early, and I think people have gambled too early on it, which is unfortunate. If I were me in this race, personally, I would stay out for a little bit longer and wait for the end of the safety car, because you're going to lose so much time at the exit of the safety car that it's not worth it. I think Ickle Bickle, oh, you can see Stebelflare struggling for the exit of the tires.
I don't know what happened to Ickle Bickle and NY. NY has just gone way off the track, and Ickle's made that position now, and he's gone. So the intermediate tires are still, they're in their prime, basically, still.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's still... So what sounds like what happened is that this is a clear indication of the game saying it's time for dries and that it's not. I've had this before where the game says, oh, it's time for dry tires. It's like the rain has stopped or whatever, and the game thinks that it's time for the dry tires, and then it's not. It completely changes, and it doesn't work out. So in this case, it's the same scenario where drivers maybe just following the game's advice and going like, okay, it's time for the dries, but sometimes the game just gets it wrong, and that's just life. I mean, even if it's an AI doing all the work here, I guess, and it's the game working on this, sometimes that's just how it goes, and sometimes the game doesn't always know, I guess. So it's really up to the driver, and that's what I think is so interesting about video games, really, and this particular strategy, is that it's realistic. I mean, sometimes the engineer calls into the driver and says, hey, it's time for the dry tires, and the driver reports back and says, hey, it is not time for dry tires. It's still raining out here, or it's still wet out here, kind of like Turkey. Turkey was a perfect example of that back in 2021. So it's life, you know, it's just racing. Sometimes, in this case, the game, in real life, the engineer is wrong, and that's just life. But maybe it is time for the dries.
Apex and Zyx just come in. Zyx had to change his front wing and for a new set of mediums. Again, I really don't know if this is the time. Ickle Bickle now finally comes in to get rid of those intermediate tyres.
Well, very interesting. So maybe it is time for the dries now. It seems like the track is a lot more grippier. I guess I don't know if that's a real word, but you get what I mean. Yeah, it seems like it's much better. Ickle back in this race now. That's good news for him, and he's able to catch up to the field because of the safety car. But yet, James, what do you think about this? Because we got a bunch of drivers on the dries. Is it really time? I mean, I don't know.
It's gonna be strange. I'm gonna keep watching the dry tyres because, well, dry tyre runners, because I don't know. There's no spray coming off the car, so it's definitely time for that switch. So, I mean, the dry tyres seem to be working now. Safety car comes in this lap, and if they are working this lap, this is the perfect lap. Well, last lap was the perfect lap to pit.
Interesting. Okay, so there was a strategy there. That seems to be working out where the dries are the better option at this point. Getting comments in the live chat now saying that it is 100% dry out on track. It is time for the dry tires. So the top 5 have made a mistake maybe. Maybe pitting a lap earlier was the right...
going so slow. I don't understand what's going on here, but NYR is not catching the pack up whatsoever here.
Not sure. Oh, as Mango is into the pit lane, everybody in the top 5 is in the pits. Sevilla Flare will lead us away. An incredible change in strategy here. The Alfa Romeos 2-3 of this race, and this has changed up the grid completely. There's a battle here, Alfa P3. Acid Masters under pressure from Tom now in the Mercedes. Oh, a little bit of contact between the two. Whoa! Oh. Tom's been put in the wall.
NYR is also retired from the session. Don't know if that is on track, and that is a huge crash at the back of the straight. Don't know how that's not at least a safety car, but we will not question this game. But NYR out of this race as well.
Bad day for Red Bull here. It was looking really good in qualifying. Ended up being a really bad race, I guess. And that's just, it may have been the gamble. It may have been the gamble originally. I'm not really sure. Seems like this is more, not really incidents in terms of like drivers crashing into each other besides the incident at turn 3 with the Mercedes in the wall. But drivers, the gamble didn't work out, it seems. For some people, I guess. Weird race, I would say, in that area. Not incidents area, more of a weird strategy area.
Yeah, it's definitely very, very strange, and yeah, we'll have to see what happens as Sevilla now leads the race from Speed Queen, and Tommy in 3rd position.
And not good news for Tom in that Mercedes. The other Tom, of course, was contact, I believe, at turn 3. I got the feeling that there was 3 cars involved in that, and Tom just didn't have any more space to go. The other car was just there. And it looks like Tom was trying to go in the pit lane, missed the pit a little bit there, but shouldn't be too much of an issue. He's going to come onto a set of hard compound tires. Ickle Bickle, fastest lap of the race. He's flying. He's back in this race. Good news for him. SSL Mango in 10th now. Oh, not good news for him.
Not good news, but I believe he can crawl his way back because there's still 1 pit stop to go and anything can happen. We're only in lap 9. Lap 9, and it doesn't feel like it should be lap 9, but this race is going to be long. He's already up into P9 as he gets by Fedora. As now he has a Zayek retires from the race. Don't know what's happened there. But Mango now having to catch up Ickle who's 4.2 seconds ahead of him.
Surprising. Well, yeah, unfortunate start for Zayek to the race. Down in 16th now, out of the race. Flare leads the race. Speed Queen, Tommy, and Kendrick's P4, and followed by Acid Masters in the McLaren in P5.
Tom's now back up to P6 after his little mistake in the stadium section when he crashed, unfortunately, there. So back up into a good points position and fighting possibly for a podium. Is ahead of Mango, so he will have that hurdle to come up to when that comes up. But right now he's got to get past Acid Masters. He's trying to get by Kendricks at the moment.
Well, B-Tom's got the advantage to be able to try and overtake these guys. He is on newer tires, technically. Tom out of this race in the pit lane. That's unfortunate. I believe he was further down the grid. Not a good race for him, unfortunately. Qualifying went so well for the Mercedes. Another situation where Red Bull had a good qualifying, didn't have a good race, and then Mercedes had a really good qualifying, and then not a good race. So, yeah, unfortunate to see that, and hopefully he comes back stronger in the next one.
Yeah, it's sad to see. But I guess that's racing, as it's full of surprises, so we'll have to wait and see what else can be produced in this race.
Well, B-Tom right on the back of Acid Masters. DRS will be enabled very soon, and he should have a very good opportunity to make a move on these two ahead.
Deactivated, I think?
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, it is. Okay,
Yeah.
you are correct.
Yeah. So yeah, Acid Masters does have DRS, so that's just keeping him ahead of B-Tom, I think.
B-Tom right on the back.
I think there's contact. As B-Tom without DRS seems to be very, very quick on the pace. I don't know if he was just letting in Acid Masters go because there was contact, or...
I mean, I would have done the same thing that B-Tom did. I mean, if he went for a risky overtake, which probably would have happened if he didn't back out, it probably would have resulted in contact and further damage and all that sort of thing. So I would have done the same thing. He's got another opportunity now, actually, into turn 14. A very good run out of that corner. He's going to dive it down the inside on Acid Masters, and the Haas driver looks to be up into 5th position now. So good move from B-Tom, and the Season 3 champion now has another car to overtake. Kendricks is next up. Let's see if he can get him.
Yeah, very, very good move from the Haas driver, as his main rival, Mango, not really catching up to the driver in front, Bickle. He's only caught up a second within the last few laps. So we'll have to wait and see if he's still got a lot more pace in that car.
Well, DRS is coming up for B-Tom now onto Raffles Boulevard. Gets a really good exit out of turn 3 already, so showing he's got the pace to overtake the Alpine driver. Let's see as B-Tom exits turn 5. Let's see what he can do. There he comes. Down the inside, he's looking for it. He's side by side with the Alpine, gives some rooms. Chill racing so far. Oh, and I think he just has to back out there. Oh, he's coming back, though. He gets a better exit. The Haas driver trying to make that move on the Alpine. They're still side-by-side into turn 9. Who's going to come out ahead? It is B-Tom. Oh, the Alpine a little bit wide there. Acid Masters looks to take advantage of that battle, but I don't think he can make the overtake just yet. Is he going to look for it? No, he does not make the overtake. Good move from B-Tom.
Yeah, one right after the other. Good for him, as he is trying to chase the Alfa Romeos now in front of him, who are 5 seconds ahead, so we'll have to wait and see how quickly he can catch up to them.
For sure. And yeah, we'll definitely see how that works out in due time. What about Ickle Bickle and SSL Mango? Mango was super fast in qualifying. It doesn't seem like he's catching up so much time to the top runners. What do you think is going on here?
Hard versus hards. He's caught up 5/10 in the last lap, so it just depends if he's actually pushing or he's just trying to keep it on the track and not use the tyres as much, because maybe he can make those tyres go further.
We'll definitely see SSL Mango in that Ferrari, 2.5 seconds behind Ickle Bickle, and we will see if he's able to catch up. AlphaTauri running an okay race, actually. Apex Finley and Kevin Cal, 7th and 10th at the current moment, looking to get some solid points, and I guess it's gonna be interesting to see how that works out for them, I guess.
Yeah, hopefully they can pick up a few more points for AlphaTauri, because that'll be very, very good for them, as I think they are fighting. I'll have to check what position they are fighting for in the championship.
I believe
they're only 4 points behind Williams.
Ooh.
Who are out of this race, so those points they have now are going to put them ahead of Williams.
That's good news for AlphaTauri, and I believe that's if I'm not mistaken, that's the battle for 9th, I want to say?
Yes.
Alrighty, well, yeah, we'll definitely see how that works out for AlphaTauri. Looking forward to seeing what they can do. And I was thinking as well, as drivers were saying that they've had some issues with this game as well. And I was thinking, I'm no longer an owner of LSR, but I'm still thinking of kind of how the league is going to go for the next couple of seasons and all that sort of thing. And I believe that this season 4, this one, I think we're putting all the focus into season 5 now. I think that's kind of the goal right now. In season 4, it's a great season, but this game is really, really hard to deal with, you know. And I think that I think these drivers will have to kind of just treat it as like, okay, move on kind of thing, and not take it so seriously and just kind of go with the flow kind of thing. That's what I'm asking, and that's what I think kind of what's going to happen. We're still going to treat it seriously, of course, but I'm just saying all focus is going into Group 1 and whatever
Jim
for Season 5. Oh.
Sorry to cut you out there, but
no problem.
Jim has spun weirdly out of turn 5. I think that's 5.
Yes, I believe so.
So very confusing to see there. You can go back to talking about Season 5 and how this season with how the game's going isn't the greatest.
No, it's not. I mean, it's life. You know, I think this game is it's a very odd game in a way. It's got its issues, but that's racing. That's games in general. So we got to deal with what we have and move on to what's going to be next, which will be F1 2023. Hopefully, which will be coming in June, and we'll move Season 5 onto that game, and these drivers hopefully will continue on for that as well. But yeah, we're 15 laps into this. Sebeflair leading away by 1.6 seconds. James, do you think Speed Queen could be able to overtake Sebeflair and maybe even Tommy as well to make this an Alfa Romeo 1-2?
It might be possible, but they do have Mouton breathing down their neck now, as he is 1.6 seconds behind. Mango is breathing down Ickle's back now as well.
Ooh, well, that's definitely going to be interesting. We'll see how that works. I mean, that battle for 7th is getting very intense, and they've actually joined the battle for 5th, So Acid Masters, who's moved up into P5, is leading this train of, I want to say, is that 5 cars?
Well, from Acid Masters, yes, that is five cars. As Mango goes down the inside on Ickle.
That's a late overtake.
That is a late overtake, but such a good move, and he's going to keep the position, but Ickle not having any of it, trying to take the position back, but Mango up into P8 as soon as he got there.
Interesting.
No.
Well, go ahead, James.
Okay. Now Mango will be fighting the avatar of Apex, and he's already looking to make that move on him as there's yellow flags up ahead. I don't know what's happened there.
Some guy named Fedora hit his front right on the wall.
Oh, what happened?
I just didn't turn enough, I guess.
Oh well, sorry to hear that, man. Hopefully, did you get damage? Hopefully, you didn't get damage. Oh, whoa! What
Apex
the?
Finley and Ickle Bickle having a bit of contact. Safety car. Ickle Bickle and Apex went around, well, trying to go too wide in the corner. I think Ickle just went a bit too quickly into the corner.
Yeah, what the? It seemed like I'm not gonna point fingers or anything like that, but it seems like a car went into another car and forced a car into, like, there was contact with a wall there. Like, seems like there was not enough space given, or I don't know.
I don't know, but this brings the field back, and maybe for people who went on the dry compound tyres early can now get those tyres off. So we'll have to see what everyone does again.
Well, several flares coming into the pit lane, so race leader into the pit. Same with second place. Will both Alphas pit? Yes, I believe so. So, top 4 into the pit lane. I'm assuming actually everybody, at least in the top 6, are coming into the pits.
B-Tom's in. Acid Masters is coming in. Mango does not pit. Ickle pits. So everyone other than Mango is coming into the pits. Mango retakes the lead.
Turn of events on lap 17. That safety car has changed a lot. Apex Finley has left the session. I want to find out what happened between Ickle Bickle and Apex and see exactly what happened, because that was a weird incident. I haven't seen something like that in a while. We will see how that works out, and the stewards will, of course, go over that, if it's brought up, of course.
So Mango back in the lead of this race. B-Tom's made the jump on Tommy as well. That position gained already and doesn't have to make the overtake, which is good news for him.
Well, safety car should be ending in the next lap, maybe 2. And we got Apex Finley in the chat. Apex, what happened there at, what is it, turn 5, I want to say? Super sad to see you out of this race, of course. You were having a very good one. I want to find out what happened between the Mercedes and... Oh, so I wonder if there was... So from what it sounds like is there's contact between Ickle and Apex at turn 5. And it sounds like Ickle hit Apex into the wall, but I don't know exactly.
I think so. I did see Ickle going a bit too quickly for 2 cars to go around that corner.
Well, definitely I'd like to see what happened there. Apex, if you do feel that it was if there's a need for a penalty or anything like that, I would definitely report that just to see as, ooh, Mango going side by side with the safety car. Ah, he's going to the pit lane. That's why. Okay.
Okay, this is...
What?
No, he's not. He's been
What
disqualified?
I wonder if he overtook the safety car too early. No freaking way. SSL Mango has had more bad luck here in the Singapore Grand Prix that's not related to a power cut.
No.
Mango disqualified for the Singapore Grand Prix off of the game's... Maybe the game. I don't know. That is just super unfortunate for SSL Mango and absolutely unbelievable.
I can't believe that just happened. Wow, okay, so Silverflare now leads the race once again. B-Tom and Speed Queen could have a really good shot at winning this now.
You know, if 2 more people DNF, I'll get points on Group 1 debut.
True.
That's
True.
the spirit.
I have no idea what's just happened to Mango. What it seems like to me is that Mango went into the pit lane and the game teleported him back out on track and disqualified him. If that's the case, that's just the game being the absolute, I guess, stupid game as it is. I don't know. So Mango says Sev's car took me out, so I got damage. What? We didn't see that on our screens, Mango. Unless... But how did you get disqualified, though?
It was at a place where you can do that, because... Okay,
So, from what it sounds like from Mango is that Sev's car hit the Ferrari driver into an earlier turn or something like that, and then Mango went into the pit lane and then the game disqualified him. But yeah, another game issue. Honestly, it's really hard. Sometimes I do consider about maybe, like, because this game is so bad, and this has nothing to do with any of the league in general. I'm just talking about the game. Of maybe even just, like, I don't know, ending the season a little bit early for Group 1, and maybe even the other divisions, and then just kind of be done with this game. Because I know all of you guys share my opinion on this, that this game is just such a hard game to play on. Just end the season early kind of thing, and then we'll do, like, I don't know, some fun events or something like that until F1 2023 comes out, and then Season 5 begins. That's my thoughts on it. But of course... it would have to be coming from the owners, and it would have to be something that we'd have to discuss. But yeah, interesting to see. We will see what happens for the remainder of the Singapore Grand Prix. Silverflare leads this race on lap 20. 11 laps remaining of this race. And yeah, that's that.
yeah, we'll definitely have to see what we can do, because this game... I really don't know what is wrong with this game sometimes, but yeah. Let's pray and hope for 23 is not going to be as bad as this.
For sure. Yeah, I think that's something that the owners and myself and the admin team, James, yourself included, will have to discuss, because at the end of the day, this isn't fair for our drivers, and we want to make sure that these drivers have good racing. We'll take everything into consideration. Of course, it's something we have to consider. Group 1 is our premier league, and we want to make sure that that this division maintains its consistency and its top drivers, and the game is not really allowing that, I guess. So yeah, it's something we'll have to consider. And even if we end the season a little bit early because of the game, this division won't stop. It will be like, I don't know, my consideration is that it will remain as like we'll do some fun events for Group 1 just for the fun of it kind of thing. And maybe we'll live stream that too. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We got racing now, though. That's what we're focusing on. At the moment, Silverflare leads the race. we got a few drivers still in this race. Speed Queen in second position. And the question is, James, where do you think Sevaflair is going to go?
Oh, I have a feeling he's going to go halfway between this little straight here. I have a feeling he might try and get. He's going now.
Ooh. Awkward start.
AI. Sevaflair has got away. Speed Queen staying ahead of B-Tom, and B-Tom trying to get closer to the Alfa Romeo to try and make a move so he can chase after the Alpine.
Well, B-Tom right on the back of Speed Queen. Let's see if this goes. The Haas driver is coming down to turn 7. Now, DRS, of course, not enabled until 3 laps into the safety car restart. Bickle still in this race and looking on the back on Kendricks. He's already going for the move, and the Mercedes is already up to the P5. Wow, he's already made that move, so LSR owner proving that he's got the skills to be able to get up into the podium positions. There's still time for Bickle to challenge for the top 3, and he's right on the back of Tommy already. He's coming up to that Alfa Romeo, and B-Tom on the back of Speed Queen as well, still 5/10 separating second and third position. Meanwhile, our guy Sevaflair, the guy who went right through 2 different cars in Austria, like split the 2 cars in an impossible move, has extended the gap by 1.5 seconds. Incredible stuff from Sevaflair so far.
That is a start that he will have wanted, and B-Tom 2 behind. Speed Queen, for quite a while, is also what he needs. So Speed Queen will be trying to defend B-Tom just for herself to keep hold of P2. And what a P2 it will be.
That would be good as Sevaflair sets the fastest lap of the race, a 140 dead for the Alpine driver. Speed Queen, yep, still in that position to challenge the Alpine. 10 laps remaining of the Singapore Grand Prix. Ooh, James, take a look at this.
Yeah.
We got some action going on in the pit lane. We have an AI car into the pits. Incredible stuff here. This is action all down the pit lane here. Wow.
Oh boy. An AI coming into the pits now?
Yeah. Well, this is...
I don't know what's going on there, but good on you, AI.
A remarkable pit stop from the AI, putting on tires on the AI, and it's worked out great for the AI. We'll stop talking about it.
Very, very close.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, he's on the back of Tommy. Let's see if he can make that move. Alfa Romeo in a good position for some strong points in this race. That'll elevate them in the championship for sure. As Acid Masters and Kendrick swapping positions, a little bit of contact between the 2, but it's all good. Acid Masters continues on. Kevin Kell right in the back of this as well. So Kevin looking for a top 6 position in this race would be great news for the AlphaTauri driver. Meanwhile, Bickle gonna have the DRS and the opportunity to make the move on the Alfa Romeo.
This is going to be I want to say 2 overtakes where Ickle trying to get by Tommy in the first corner. B-Tom, the first driver to overtake the Alfa Romeo cars on this next straight. As DRS activated now.
Bickle's going for the move on Tommy.
He's got it, and oh, he's gone way off track, but P4 is Eggles, so Bickle will be looking towards B-Tom now. I think he may even have a chance at this podium if he can catch the front 3 very quickly.
B-Tom still on the back of Speed Queen. 6/10 separating second and third. DRS is enabled for the Haas driver. American team, American driver. I'm still looking for that second win in LSR Season 4. Back-to-back wins would be great for the Haas driver, but I don't know. Can he overtake Speed Queen? We'll see.
Or does Speed Queen have that defense of... Who has the greatest defense?
Ooh, that's a hard question. Speedy Gunner. Speedy Gunner's got some... I tell you, Speedy, if you're listening right now, that vote's going to you because you got some awesome defensive moves there, and you know how to defend. I can tell you that.
He does know how to defend, as I've been behind him quite a while. I think it was long race, and it's as Speed Queen is still staying ahead of B-Tom in the DRS zone.
And just to quickly note on the topic before, myself and Speedy are teammates in another league, and I think there was a race before, I can't remember exactly what it was, and he said he's going to defend, and I'll try and like keep ahead kind of thing. And when he said that, he defended, and he defended the whole race. I think he did a really good job on that. So just wanted to add on that. But yeah, B-Tom still in the back of Speed Queen. Meanwhile, Sebaflare is getting away.
Yeah, this battle here really helped Sebaflare, but Speed Queen, I think it's kind of helping her in a way, because she's not having to push, but she's not having to defend, and I think defense might be helping her, keeping her P2, because I think if he was trying to go for the attack, it might cause a few mistakes here and there, maybe, going a bit too deep in some corners. But right now, she's doing a great job at keeping B-Tom behind.
For sure, yeah, it's going quite well for Speed Queen. In P2, we're on lap 24 out of 31. Still a few laps remaining. Tommy on the back of Ickle Bickle, actually. Tommy could retake fourth position. Oh, B-Tom!
He's gonna try around the outside. Ooh, he's got it. I did not expect him to make a move that late, but fair play. So now, one driver only in front of B-Tom, which is Sebaflare, and 3 seconds ahead. So we'll have to see how quick B-Tom can catch up.
Well, we still have a few more laps remaining, so it's possible. 2.9 seconds to the Alpine driver. Ooh, Fedora spinning around. Fedora, what happened in the Aston Martin car turn 13?
Too much throttle.
Oh, I
could
could
completely.
completely.
Back up since I'm a lap behind, since safety car didn't let lap pass cars or lap cars passed.
The only thing I can say to that is screw the safety car.
Yeah, I tried. I was just like, screw it, maybe I'll just overtake all of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, oh, yellow flag. You could. Oh, B-Tom is spun.
Has he lost any wing? No, he has not lost any wing from what I can tell, but Speed coming back up in speed through it too. Ickle on the podium now.
And Tommy's up into fourth now, but how long can he hold this now? B-Tom coming back after that unfortunate spin, it seems. Will he be able to overtake that Alfa Romeo? He overtook Speed Queen just a lap or two ago. He's going to have to do it to the second Alfa Romeo now if he wants to get up into the top four.
Is he going to go for the lunge? No, he's not. He's too far back. That is unlucky for Beatom to have that mistake. And I think he was just pushing a bit too hard.
Well, Sebo Flair has a gap of around 5 seconds to Speed Queen in that Alfa Romeo. Very commanding result from Sebo Flair, looking for his 4th win in LSR, which would be really, really great for the Alpine driver.
Is anybody disconnected or stuck in AI?
Albrecht, I believe.
1. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm still in it.
You're still in it.
You're a minute 30 behind.
Hey, takes 1 DNF. I got a point.
True. Yeah, actually, you're technically P11 at the moment. So yeah, that's true. Well, here comes a battle for P4. Beatom going for the move on Tommy. Into turn 7 we come. The Haas is going around the outside of the Alfa Romeo. Doesn't seem to do any contact so far. Clean and nice between the two drivers. Oh, Beatom forced Tommy a little bit wide there. Didn't give him a lot of room.
There's no contact with the wall, which is very lucky for both of them. Otherwise, I think the wall may or may not have ended her race.
Beatom still got time to make up those positions, make up that time, and get back to overtaking the other two drivers. I think Sebo Flair's a little too far ahead for Beatom at the current time he's got, but it's still possible for him to get back up into the podium. Wouldn't you say so, James?
Yeah, it's 2.7, 2.6 behind Ickle. I think it could be done. Speed Queen maybe, depends on how quick Beatom is, but I think P3 is on the table.
Well, let's see, as Beatom flying through turn 1. It was a little bit wide, shouldn't get any penalty there. Maybe a warning, but I don't know. I think it should be fine. 2.3 seconds is the gap to Ickle Bickle.
Closest battle almost here, I want to say, is Kendrick's and Acid Masters.
Oh.
That was second between them, the Alpine and the McLaren.
Well, let's see. We still got a few more laps remaining. Race leader, the number 2 Alpine, Sebo Flair in the race lead. I love saying the numbers. It's fun. It's fun to call out the number 2 car, the number 1 car. Reminds me of the good old Le Mans days or the NASCAR days or something like that. You know, it's quite interesting, speaking of numbers. I was watching, this is totally off topic, viewers, so sorry, but James, were you by chance watching the IMSA Sebring races, the 12 hours of Sebring at all?
What's it like
the endurance racing
it's
race.
something miles, isn't it? Instead.
Oh, that's the other race. That was the one yesterday.
Oh.
The one that's going on right now. It's called the 12 hours
right
of
now.
Sebring. Yeah.
I've seen like pictures of it here and there on Twitter, but I've not really watched much of it because I've kind of forgot that it was on.
Well, all good. No worries. I was just saying, I have there's something interesting I noticed, and I'll explain in a moment. I was just going to mention that Kevin Cal Kendricks is still in that battle with Acid Masters. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. But I noticed something, speaking of numbers, I think in IndyCar they have this too, especially at the 500. But in IMSA, there's a car called the O1 Cadillac, the number O1 car, and then there's a car called the number 1, which is really, really odd, if I'm being honest. And then there's another car that is called the 23. It's the number 23 car. And then there's another one that's the O23, which is basically the same number. So it's really odd.
I want to guess it's the endurance part of it, racing, where you just get to slap any number on a car.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's what it's about. I don't think people really think too much about the numbering in other sports and stuff like that. I think they're just go like, whatever, this is the number, there we go, done. I think
It's a car.
yeah, I mean, it's chill kind of thing. Like that's kind of why I like it. At the same time, it's like there's not too many rules with all that sort of thing, or it's like I don't know. I think back in Le Mans, it was definitely like, this is number 1, this is number 2, and I definitely like that personally, where it's just like a very unique number system. Meanwhile, B-Tom right in the back of Bickle Bickle. Are you watching this battle, James?
I've been watching the Kevin Cow, but B-Tom.
Whoa!
Switch back. Oh, getting very close to each other against the wall. Another switchback. Can he get it done? B-Tom gets it done.
Little bit of tire tapping there between the two drivers. Shouldn't be too much of an issue though, but B-Tom is ahead. Ickle and P4, will Ickle be able to catch back up to B-Tom? I don't think so, because B-Tom's on the same amount of tire, but it seems like he's gaining time on Ickle.
Who's gaining time?
Oh, sorry, B-Tom. B-Tom's gaining time on Ickle after that move he made.
I'm trying to process that in my head, and it's...
Sorry, let me see if I can... I probably said it completely wrong.
B-Tom gaining time on Ickle when he's passed.
yeah, he's gaining more and more, like, tenths on the Mercedes. And I was trying to think, like...
Yeah.
It's okay, I had to think about it too when I was like, oh, Sevelflair's out, the race leader!
On the second to last lap.
What
Speed
the?
Queen might win this.
Oh my goodness.
But Fedora is in for points on his first race.
I believe so. Oh my goodness, what a turn of events, what a crazy end to this race. Speed Queen is up into the race lead of the LSR Singapore Grand Prix. Alfa Romeo are on for one of their best results in this league. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe that Sevelflair, the race leader, it's an exact copy of the Austrian Grand Prix race leader with a couple laps to spare out of the race. And he had it so wrapped up. It was all him. And it's a spin, proving that nothing ever ends in league racing. Speed Queen leads the race with just a lap and a half to go. Absolutely insane.
She has 2.3 seconds between herself and B-Tom. Can she do it? Can she defend for the rest of this lap? This is... wow.
Come on, Speed Queen. You got this.
Her first win, well, second win actually after her first win in pre-season, but we'll say her first win. But the final lap now, Speed Queen leads by 2 seconds.
On board on the final lap of the race. Speed Queen 80 in the Alfa Romeo. What a race she's had, honestly. What a season she's had. She's just got to keep it together for one more lap of this one. We see more dramatic stuff in league racing happen. Who knows what could happen at this end of this race. Speed Queen, you got this. I think in that preseason race, she did win the preseason Hungary race, but that technically wasn't an official race. This is an official race, and Speed Queen, who leads the championship, is going to get her first win in LSR.
Yeah, this is. I think it was Hungary. It was either Hungary or Monza that she won one of those two races. But right now, she's going on to win her first race, and she's leading the championship by I don't know how many points at this point. I can't do math, so I'm not going to bother.
Don't worry, she's leading. That's all that matters.
But right now, this is. She's always been there, and this is her chance to say she's never backing out of a win at the moment, and wow.
Absolutely incredible scenes. Speed Queen has benefited from it all. Seb Lafleur was leading this race, but crashed on the final couple of laps. B-Tom won't do anything as Speed Queen. She won in Hungary. It wasn't an official race. She's going to win here now in Singapore. Speed Queen wins her first LSR win in Singapore. The fireworks are ablaze. Alfa Romeo are on top here in Marina Bay. Speed Queen wins the Singapore Grand Prix in Group 1 in the most chaotic Singapore Grand Prix we've ever had. Absolutely incredible scenes. The first win is hers. Speed Queen extends her championship lead and wins this race.
What a win for Speed Queen. And a very unexpected win for the Alfa Romeo driver, and I don't think either of us would have expected Seb Lafleur to crash out on the second last lap.
Pretty much double disaster for Seb Lafleur. He had a similar incident in Austria last week, and yeah, it's happened again here in Singapore. Other disaster for the Alpine driver, but it is Alfa Romeo and Speed Queen that benefit from that all. B-Tom reclaims second position. Ickle Bickle on the podium as well. A very, very unique podium, I gotta say, and a well-deserved win for Speed Queen. Alfa Romeo, double points, double top 5 for them. Tommy's going to be very happy with 4th position. He's always been in around 4th this race, and I think he's going to definitely benefit from that. So congrats to Alfa Romeo. Congrats to Speed Queen. First ever win in LSR.
Wow, what a first win for as Albreach the AI has driver of the day. Don't know how that's possible, but I guess we will take it. As Speed Queen, the first time for, no, can't speak now, for her first win with LSR, and to a crazy race, which can be said.
Yeah, I think a lot of that was down to the strategy, honestly. There was a few incidents, but, I mean, it's Singapore. Like, I mean, we're going to get a few incidents. I think this is mainly down to the game, if I'm being honest. But the result is just awesome. You know, Speed Queen on top here for Alfa Romeo in Singapore in one of the most dramatic races, I'd say, but also the most intense race. It's Singapore. It's the Marina Bay Street Circuit. It is definitely an intense one. So Speed Queen on top, followed by B-Tom, Ickle Bickle, Tommy, and Acid Masters complete the top 5. Kendricks, Kevin Cal, Ya Boring, Jim, and here it is, P10 for Fedora in that Aston Martin. It's P11 on our screens right here, but Albrecht is ghosted, so Fedora will be grabbing his first point in LSR Group 1. Congrats, man.
Oh yeah, debut 1 point.
Congrats. Really well deserved.
I told you it would happen.
Yeah, you did. I mean, you said it at the very beginning, I think, and it worked out. So there you go. Well, James, any final thoughts before we kind of conclude this all?
I do not have anything to say. That is a really good race and really exciting all the way through. Throughout rain and dry, which was very exciting.
Absolutely, yeah. It's definitely been it was definitely an exciting race. Gotta say, a good one. And James, thank you so much for joining me here in the commentary box. Always a pleasure to commentate with you, my friend. And Yeah. Thank you. And Fedora as well, thank you so much for joining us here in the commentary box while you drove in this race. Great to have you in here from a driver's perspective as well. It was good to see that. So thank you for that. And I wish you both and everybody listening here a good luck tomorrow. James, you and me got to get some good points here at Singapore for Aston in Group 2.
I'm gonna
Bring out
wipe
the
the
big
floor with
guns.
both of you.
Well, yeah, good luck to the both of you tomorrow, and good luck to everybody else who's watching our stream, and to everybody who's just racing tomorrow, and commentating and just being a part of the league tomorrow. Definitely good luck. That was Group 1, a very unique race, I would say. Congrats to Speed Queen on a well-deserved first official win in LSR. Really, really well done to you. Congrats. But yep, that's concluding things here today from LSR's live stream for Saturday. I'm Formula Jonah, founder of LSR. That was James, and Fedora as a driver here in the commentary box as well. We will see you tomorrow for the Singapore Grand Prix of Group 2. We're not done with Singapore. It is definitely going to be an exciting race week throughout the next couple of divisions. We have Group 2 coming up next on Sunday, exactly the same time as this race, just tomorrow, of course. And then after that, we got Group 3. Brand new grid, of course, to LSR. Excited to see how they do. A lot of up and coming stars of the future kind of thing for LSR in Group 3. Bunch of new full-time drivers as well. So excited to see what they can do on the streets of Marina Bay later on Sunday. But yep, that's concluding things officially here today from Singapore in Group 1. We will see you all tomorrow, and have a good one. Goodbye.